been to a lot of leadership development programs before for my own professional development. And what always surprises me, or I should say often surprises me, is how absent the concept of service-based leadership is from the curriculum. Mostly that surprises me because it was such a pivotal concept I learned when I was learning how to be a leader in the Marine Corps. Service-based leadership, at its simplest form, is about caretaking, recognizing that you as a leader can work with other people to make them better if you take care of them. And by taking care, it can seem like such a soft concept, but ultimately it's about giving them the resources they need so they can be better, be more successful, be more independent of you. Sometimes the simplest thing, like offering praise or expressing gratitude or highlighting a strength that somebody has that maybe they don't even know that they have, that's a caretaking gesture. It's a little bit of effort, a little bit of time, but can often have a transformative impact on the people you're seeking to influence and inspire. So we write about service-based leadership in Spark, and I share a story about a phenomenal leader who I had the pleasure of knowing in my time in the Marine Corps. His name was Captain Harper, but he called himself Coca-Cola because he was the real thing. And I talk about this really touching moment where I needed leadership. He stepped up for me, and he delivered possibly even greater than a friend could, and how that really transformed my impression in my relationship with Captain Harper, Coca-Cola. But what's interesting about this whole story is that I didn't share in Spark the backstory. So when Courtney and Sean and I were writing Spark, we decided, to feature some of these key leaders in our life that we just put on these pedestals. And I wanted to get Coca-Cola's permission to tell this story. And again, it was 20 plus years since this particular story happened. So I reached out to him, no longer a captain in the Marine Corps, retired as a colonel. He was now doing something extraordinary in his own right. And I reached out and I just said, hey, do you mind if I tell this story? He's like, what story is that, Angie? And I said, well, it's that time when, you served me when I was having a challenge with my family and you just delivered for me. Do you remember that? Do you remember that situation? And he thought about it and he said, no, I don't remember at all. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he goes, no, I don't remember that situation that you're describing. And for all these 20 plus years, Byron Harper, I've been traveling the world talking about this experience that you have no recollection or memory of? And he's like, no, I wish I did. Maybe it sounds familiar. I don't know. I walked away from that conversation thinking, I guess I wish he would have remembered, but the reality is that this was just the type of leader he was. He showed up and he delivered like this for tons of Marines, non-Marines, and beyond, because that's who he was. He was a service-based leader. He was always looking at the people around him, thinking about them, their challenges, and how he could be an instrument to help them get better. He wasn't doing it because he was necessarily getting paid for it. He was doing it because that was who he was. He knew that his job was to make people better, and he just showed up for them every single day.